Yeah, because we're cutting everything else out and only putting up the album review, right?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. So now the show starts. Everyone wake the fuck up.
Here we go.
There you go.
All right.
Now, is this button going to work?
Hello.
Hey, YouTube. How's it going? Welcome. This is a shorter version of what you previously know as MAMS. We cut all the other bullshit out from before, like the news and everything that's not relevant. We're only going to be focusing on the album review part, the album Rochambeau part of the show going forward. If you like everything, hey, god damn, that's a lot for the Ultimate Queen fan. Make sure you give us a follow on Twitch, watch it live to catch all that other bullshit, and us dicking around for a little bit. And then for later, when we watch all the music videos.
Yeah, you'll get a pre-show and a post-show.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
3 shows in one.
This week, we are reviewing the 2006 classic Underoath album, Define the Great Line. It was Brett's turn. Am I pointing the right way?
Yes.
Yeah, sure am.
Hi.
And he picked this album. It's Underoath's 5th album, released on June 20th, 2006. It has 11 tracks coming in at 45 minutes and 58 seconds. Just about the same amount of time as last week's album, You're Welcome by Dave Remember, with 3 whole less songs.
This is
Go
also,
figure.
it's really weird to think of that this is their 5th album.
Yeah, but it's like not though.
It's not, but it, God, man,
You know?
it's so weird.
Oh, money! Holy shit!
Money, money, money.
Oh, thanks, Steph. Yeah, we forgot about that day. The producers on this album were Underoath themselves, but you also had Adam D of Killswitch Engage, who has also produced albums for Acacia Strain, All That Remains, As I Lay Dying, August Burns Red, Thrill Seeker,
All the good things.
From Autumn to Ashes, Norma Jean, Parkway Drive, Shadows Fall, Unearth, and The Devil Wears Prada. And then Matt Goldman, who has also produced for Copeland, The Chariot, As Cities Burn, My Children, My Bride, Vanna, Cartel, Oceana, Becoming the Archetype, and Amberlin.
Listen, if you liked metal at some point, it's because of them.
It's because of them.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling over 98,000 copies in the first week, becoming the highest charting Christian album on the Billboard 200 since '97. So, praise be to Jesus, I guess.
Yeah, praise Jesus. I got this album only like when I first bought it. It was only because I was able to get it at a Christian bookstore, and so Mom was like, "Oh, that's fine. If it's here, it's fine."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got this for like a Easter present once.
Yeah.
It was in an Easter basket.
Yeah, totally fitting.
Hell yeah. Jesus.
I will say, are we getting into the review?
Not yet.
Okay.
We still got other stuff.
Okay. Okay. Go on.
Okay, cool. It was certified gold on 11/11/06. Chris Dudley said, the keyboardist, said the album title comes from defining that line between becoming the man or woman that you want to be and the man and or woman other people want you to be. Whoa. Unlike They're Only Chasing Safely, Define the Great Line was written by both Spencer and Aaron, with much more personal lyrics for Spencer, relating to things in his life that molded him to the person he had become at that time, and toning down the mentions of God to more exclamations of desperation, though the Christianity themes are still there.
Oh yeah.
They abandoned the pop choruses of They're Only Chasing Safely, opting for a more heavier and eclectic style. But this was not on purpose. It's just something that happened naturally while the band was writing the songs. And they said because the lyrics are so personal for Spencer, that these writing sessions were kind of just like group therapy for him. And most people recognize this album as a turning point for the band, with All Music, commenting that the darkness lurking in the nooks and crannies between the snare hits and riffs would be fully realized on the next album. Whatever the
Lost in the Sound of
Lost
Separation.
in the Sound. Yeah.
That's the one.
Yes.
And before the album's release, unfinished versions of the songs were leaked because the audio files were stolen. And it was ranked 24th on the 25 greatest metalcore albums of all time Loudwire list in 2017.
Nice.
I believe it.
Now,
Yep.
I believe it.
boys, tell me what
Yes.
you think about it.
Well, all right.
Brett,
So
it's your album.
yeah, I chose this because back when this album did come out, we listened to it a lot in the car. You know, when we were driving around after games and football games in high school,
Yep.
and it just we had a lot of good memories just doing that. And so it kind of like there's a lot of nostalgia when coming into this album. I guess a little bit more than the Dance Gavin Dance album because like that one was more of just like the two of us would we'd play Call of Duty playing that one. This one, we all listened to this back then, so like it wasn't weird to get into someone else's car going home and this was playing.
Right.
Yeah, it's just so it was there's a lot of memories for this. It's just a good album, man. I don't really have any complaints with it. I would say like right now, driving while I was listening to it for this show, the slower songs, I would skip. Like they're not bad songs. I love them. It's just when I especially driving around here, like I don't want something that's like really chill. I need something to go a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, because adrenaline.
Sure.
But yeah, like I love this album. I love it. It is. I think this is going to be our top rated album.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think a lot of it has to do with, they're a Tampa band. We're all Tampa boys, right?
Some of them went to our high school.
They went to our high school.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of the things they
I
talk
saw
about.
Spencer in a CVS once.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's just connected to us because it is our hometown. But also, this came out June 20th of 2006. So, Cody, you were already in high school at this time.
Yeah.
But Brett and I were going into freshman year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we were really like, holy shit, we go to fucking Warped Tour. We're fucking cool, edgy, fucking 13, 14-year-old motherfuckers, right? And hearing something that is so interesting, and we were learning how to play guitar at this point, and trying to get better at playing guitar at this point, trying to play in bands, meeting other people from other schools that were playing in bands, very influential in that regard.
Dude, this was the sound of Tampa for years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
God,
It's like those scary chords, those really weird polyrhythms on drums, which at the time I was like, this is just the greatest thing I've ever heard. My life, I can't count it. I'm stupid. and now it's like that's literally 4/4. It just is polyrhythmic. It's really not that difficult.
It is, yeah.
But a really cool way that they like juxtapose that with because Aaron's wild and crazy and he plays with the fattest drumsticks you'll ever see. And
I don't know how he's not blown through those heads every fucking show.
But like the bass drum was fat as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had such a fat bass
God.
drum. And a lot of those rhythms that he was playing could be found somewhere else in the band. So you could see that their writing wasn't just, okay, I want to be loud and annoying. Like they literally like, okay, well the bass guitar's doing this, I'm gonna follow that with my feet. Well the lead guitar's doing that, I'm gonna do that with the cymbal. Like you could tell that he's paying attention to that.
There's also along the writing aspect of the songs, you'll notice that they don't repeat 4 times at times. Sometimes they do. But a lot of it's just 3 repeats. So the reason why they're doing the 3 is the trio is the Son, the Ghost, and the Holy Spirit. It's supposed to be that's their Christian tie-in. Like if you listen to like the old monks way back in the day when like sheet music was first actually getting written down, stuff like that. Everything because it was in the church and because it followed the rules of 3. That's Christian music.
Right.
So they kind of implement that here and there.
Right, yeah, and that also makes sense because, Aaron was a youth pastor for a really long time.
Right.
He played drums in church. That's the first time he ever played drums. So of course he's hearing that music, learning how to write music through that lens. Not fuck the church, But the point we're trying to make is that that's where the roots come from, and you can hear it in this.
Right.
And
we can all agree music is the best part about Christianity and religion.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it's the only reason I go ever when I did. You
Right.
know, like,
I went because I was the drummer.
or also I was forced
Right.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
but the music's the best part, so I mean it's fair. That's fine.
But a lot of things you were saying, Brett, about like that nostalgic aspect. Clearly, this is an older album. It means a lot to us, and it means a lot to me because like I really wanted to play guitar like them, right? Like
Yep.
Timmy is a masterful guitar player. I'm not gonna say that they're geniuses on guitar, right? But they know how to write a good song within the confines of their genre.
Right.
Like they know what they're doing within that. I'm not saying that they can rip and shred, but somewhere in there, they know exactly how to make a decent.
I base most of my drumming off of Aaron.
Right.
The way my layout is, the way I actually do play them, like it's a lot of that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, Tim's way more involved in the writing on this album. I saw, and I think I once saw a panel from Ace Frehley from Kiss at Spooky Empire, and someone asked him, hey, how do you like use theory to write your songs? He's like, I don't know the first thing about theory. I just write stuff, and whatever sounds good, I go with, and I just do that. And I kind of feel like, at least for the guitars, kind of the same thing. They just kind of wrote and just, hey, this sounds cool. Let's just do it. You know, it's not like
Right.
they're doing fucking Arch Echo bullshit or anything like that.
Nah, yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. They
Like, this
write
kid's still
riffs.
a
Yeah.
prog metalcore album.
Sure, and I this was right around the time Jeremy Murphy and one of our close friends, he plays in Keep It a Secret. We've had them on the show, or we want them to have them on the show. But he used to say to us all the time, "Hey man, leave theory at the door when we're playing in here."
Yeah.
It's like, and it would piss me off because like obviously Brett and I, when we were in band then, it's like all we thought about was theory because we had to. So like coming in to play in a band, we're like, that doesn't make sense, bro. You can't do that with those chords. You can't do that with those notes. And then he would do them, and he's like, damn, that sounds pretty cool. Can you teach me that? Like, and I think Timmy did a lot of that kind of stuff too in this band. And he wrote riffs, and each chunk of the songs were just riff, and somehow they seamlessly went together, whether it was with the accompaniment with the synths, or maybe a really cool drum fill, etc.
It's a lot of drum fills.
A lot of stuff was glued together because of the arrangement, not so much just the riffs themselves.
Right. Cody, I will ask.
Yeah.
I don't remember all of the criterias for the review.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll put them back up.
Yeah, I
there.
looked up there. I was like, "Fuck."
Yep. Well, here, don't say anything, but you're gonna see my fucking ratings.
Okay. I won't
There you
look. I won't look.
Okay. So my thoughts. on
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
You can definitely see that this is, this is Spencer's album dealing with imposter syndrome, I believe. Like looking at the lyrics and everything that he's saying, especially when you look at everything through the lens of this was their group therapy for him and everything. You could see he's questioning his faith, his place in the world. I mean, depression and suicidal thoughts. Like everyone wants to like in the on Genius and everything, putting their 2 cents in for what the song lyrics are supposed to mean. You got all the Jesus people putting all the Christianity stuff, and that's easy. Sure, you could do that here for sure. They're there. But when you look at it through that different scope of everything, you could see like writing on the walls. That's about killing yourself. That's or about a friend killing themselves.
Unaliving yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unaliving.
And to whom it may concern, you know, that's going to the next plane and everything. You could definitely tell like this is kind of more of a story. This is more like therapeutic, as I said. And musically, you know, as you guys said, this is kind of where they figured out their sound and their formula. Like no one else does it better than Underoath. They're not writing standard verse, chorus, refrain, chorus.
Right.
None of these songs are like that. Even the singles aren't like that. They have like they kind of go like that, but like Writing on the Wall, their biggest song, I'd argue, it has one verse.
I'd agree with that.
Has a verse, it has a breakdown, it has pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus, bridge, outro.
Right.
you can't do that back in 2006
Yeah.
unless you're fucking, Between the Buried and Me or something like that.
Right.
I just love it. Like, like They're Only Chasing Safely is, arguably a bigger album. It had the bigger singles that everyone knows.
Yeah,
But
the
this
crowd,
one-
the crowd ones.
The crowd pleasers with all the
Right.
choruses and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, they were
Right.
catchy.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one and Lost in Sound, like, these are Underoath. No one can copy them. If they try to copy them, you're gonna be found out.
Right.
And you're not
I-
gonna get anywhere.
That's a really good point too, because if you think about that last album, it's like they could have dove straight head first right into like From First to Last territory, right? Like they could have been like one of those emo bands that Aiden, for example, shit like that, where they would come up, be good in their moment, and then not have any relevancy. You're like
Ever
a
again.
third album,
Yeah.
right? And it just disappears.
Yeah.
Like you said, in this album, they found their sound, and now whenever you hear a band that does weird, scary notes that are syncopated with a drum that doesn't really sit on a rhythm, it's like, you know what? That sounds like Underoath.
Yep.
You always say that. Everybody says that's kind of Underoathy. That's an Underoath riff.
We did
I
it,
bet they
last
listen
week.
to Underoath. Yeah,
Uh,
right.
One of the I can't remember that band that we were listening to.
Vagrants.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So it's just like there's plenty of bands and musicians that listened to Underoath during that time, just like we did, and was like, you know what? I want to make something kind of like that. And you have to be careful, because if you don't sound good, you disappear forever.
There was only one band that I would argue that pulled it off, and it was only because they were also a Tampa band, was Oceana.
Yep. And then they changed their style.
And
and
the
disappeared.
screamer guy left, and they turned into a weird indie band.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And like they could have easily gone the other way with this album, with the success of They're Only Chasing Safely, and just leaned in more to the pop side. But they were like, nah, dude, we're gonna go fucking heavier.
Yeah.
And I think the next album after it, which one day we'll review, I'm sure, is the culmination of both They're Only Chasing Safely and Define the Great Line
Yes.
to the perfect whole of an Underoath album. But that's for later. This album has so much atmosphere in it with those interludes and everything that you're saying, the slower songs,
Right.
which I understand. But if you're, again, I said last week, never listen to this album front to back, right? And I did it so many times this week because it just flows so perfectly from one song to the other.
Oh, it does.
Like one cohesive
Absolutely.
fucking story. And I'm so glad I finally got a chance to do that, because I came in after this album was out, before Lost in Sound came out. That's when I discovered Underoath and everything. And when that happens, you go back, you only know the songs that were there. You don't experience them organically as they come out. They exist. It's kind of like all the Him albums before I started listening to Him. You have the first four, then you have Dark Light. Everything before Dark Light just already existed. It's already perfect. You already know it's there. Everything else is all fresh and brand new.
Yep.
That's that absolute point. Shout out to What If.
Good.
And yeah, the interlude in Russian was really cool, even though it's it's passage from Psalms. But I like that in the background. I didn't know this was happening. Chris, the keyboardist, is playing a televangelist, distorted, repeating what the Russian guy is saying. But because of that distortion, because the televangelism aspect of it, at least for me, takes on a much darker tone as the halfway point of the album. And that's when you start getting into the more darker lyrical themes and everything with what Spencer was writing.
True.
But I love it. This is one of my favorite albums. Underoath is one of the first bands I listened to that had screams and breakdowns in it. Writing on the Walls, one of the first songs I learned how to play on bass, because Jesse Sims I bought Jesse Sims the bass that he never paid me back for $200, and then he was screaming, and I'm just like, yeah, just learn look, we're on Ultimate Guitar or whatever. It's easy.
Yep.
It's easy.
Right. Yep.
Let's play this.
Yeah, at the time, I thought this was like the hardest shit in the world. And then
I mean, it was tough for someone who was coming out of learning how to play Green Day.
Oh yeah. At the time, it was hard.
Right?
For us.
Like
Yeah.
it's like fuck, this is so hard. Now I could read it.
Yeah.
I don't even need, you know.
I say I still I could play writing. I could play like every instrument for writing on the wall.
Yeah, it's like it's not hard anymore.
Yeah.
But like when you're 13 and you're learning how to play, like it's hard.
Yeah, it was,
right? Right.
It was a good challenge.
Oh yeah, and
Can we talk about the music videos real fast? Like, they're all iconic. Writing on the walls is
oh yeah,
iconic.
Those two little kids doing like weird interpretive dance,
Yeah.
super shaky.
God, that video is so
Scary
creepy,
as
dude.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that shit's running in weird frames, doesn't even make sense. It's flashy.
It's probably at like 15.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's weird. It's crazy.
So before we get into our specific numbers and all that stuff, some reviews around the net.
Yeah.
All music have it at a 7 out of 10. Everything's just gonna be out of 10. I'm just gonna say the first numbers. Alt Press had it at a 10.
Nice.
Cross Rhythms had
That's
it
when
at a
Alt
10.
Press though was good back then.
Yeah.
Jesus Freak Hideout had it at a 9. Kerrang had it at an 8.
Oh, those
Punk
bitches.
News, yeah. Punknews.org had it at a 7.
7.
Which is the lowest on this list is a 7, by the way. Rate Your
Yeah.
Music have it a 7.14. Indie Vision Music, another 10. Three
Yes.
10s.
Yes.
Scene Point Blank, 8.6. Ultimate Guitar, 8.7. And Discogs, 8.9, bringing the average, too. An 8.58.
Okay.
8.58. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
Oh.
I throw the question to you, boys. Where are you ranking it?
All right. I'll well, Brett, it was yours first, so you said it.
Mine came out overall came out to a 9.25.
Woo! All right.
Up there.
To the moon. Right. So on my criteria list, all the 6 categories, I didn't go under 7.5.
Oh, I don't
So-
even think I went under 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
what were some of your criteria for that 9.25?
Mine?
Brett.
Yeah.
I think
Just
the
ballpark, nothing specific.
I think the lowest one I did was I think it was a variety. I did it at like an 8. Just because it wasn't like every single song. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the same album. Like
Right.
Like you can't. I don't think any of these songs would survive on anything else. Like, as
Yeah,
a package, they're amazing. It's just like I don't, there's nothing that like stands out and goes like, holy shit, I wasn't expecting that.
True.
So
I don't think we're ever gonna get that with a nostalgia album either.
right, and yeah, I don't think so either. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's
Yeah,
gotta be
it is what
realistic
it is.
about it.
Yeah.
And then I think the musicianship I did like an 8.5 because it's. I mean, like we were saying, at the time it was hard.
Yeah.
Now that we're older, we're listening to this again. It's been a while. We know what we're doing a little bit more as far as music is concerned.
Yeah, it's just playing
It's
guitar.
not the hardest thing in the world. Yeah.
Right.
So, and it's honestly, I still think that the drum parts are the hardest part of the whole thing. And it's only, I'll give him that too, is because he's singing while he's doing a lot of this stuff.
Right. I would say maybe some of the chord structures on like guitar too.
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Like,
some of it, but like a lot of it, they just like writing on
set
the
it
walls.
up.
Like you can put one finger down and play the whole intro.
right. A lot of it's that drop D, standard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Josh?
All right. So, like Brett, like I my musicianship was the lowest as well. I said 7.8, not because they're bad. It's just like it's just guitar, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just playing, but like the writing of it like is very good, right? So I said lyrics. I said that's a 9.2, right? Like that's
didn't
high
have
up there
9.
for me.
I didn't
I was
have
like, I remember all these goddamn words, even the screaming parts.
Yep.
That's how much I listened to it, right? I said production. That was low for me too because it sounds kind of dated, but it still sounds good. Comparatively,
so?
I gave.
You need to have some better speakers because
I say I
gave that motherfucker a 10.
No, that shit's.
I actually I did too.
It's too gainy. It's too gainy. It's not clear enough. But I gave it a 7.8 there as well. Variety. This was like, to me, at the time, so different than everything else, so it varied greatly, and that's how I judged that particular category. It was so different from anything I was listening to, and I think a lot of the songs, though similar, hence the consistency being up there as well,
Yeah.
gave me enough variety where it's like, this song's different than this song, and this song's different than this song. It wasn't just like, let's play 4 chords and then change the words. Like, it was all the riffs were different. So that was a high for me as well. And memorability, I remember this whole album top to bottom.
Oh yeah, that was a 10. Yeah,
that's a 10.
I know.
Right? So
I know everything about this.
Right. So my final score is an 8.81.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. 9.25 plus 8.81. Okay. Well, boys, I have some news for you. My score is gonna be higher.
Oh.
Fred, I mean, you can kind of see it because I had to spoil it a little bit, but
Oh yeah.
So I gave the lyrics a 9.3. I might have graded that a little bit lower had I not known about, them being more connected to Spencer's personal life than the Christian themes, which is what originally I thought we're going to get,
Right.
Especially since that's what everyone's told me. Oh, that's what these songs are about. It's about God. They're under oath. But the lyrics are fucking so good on this whole album all the way through.
Yeah.
Even when it starts, wake up, wake up, wake up. This is not a test. Like, goddamn, just kick me in the face to start this album off. I gave the musicianship a 9.6. I'm comparing it to other things at the time, and looking at it in that lens. Like, yeah, it's not the heaviest thing in the world, but guess what? It's heavy and it's consistent with its heaviness, and it sounds good and well put together. And while this is, again, not technically, outrageously hard and difficult, sometimes the albums don't need to be. Sometimes that simplicity is even better. You don't overthink it. It's just there. And guess what? Sounds great. Sounds great.
Yep.
I gave the production a 10. Josh, I need to get you better speakers.
Yeah, I listened to
I didn't have that issue.
I listened to it
Bose
on
headphones, my friend.
Bro, I had it on my computer speaker, the Logitech's, the Sony soundbar, and my Sony system in the car, and it sounded amazing.
No, I mean, what's wrong with a 7.8, huh?
It's not a 10.
It's above average. It's above average.
I expected it to be higher. Anyway,
if they made this album in 2021, what would it be different?
Oh, it'd be electric. It wouldn't be real.
No, but it would sound better.
Yeah, because it'd be electric.
Yeah.
So that's my point, is that the production sounds like 2006, but it sounds the best of 2006. Because when we listened to Hawthorne Heights, I was like, this is a fucking
that sounds like trash. Yeah.
Right, and it came out the same time. So.
Well, yeah, they were 5 albums deep as opposed to the first album.
Right. So it's just money. You're able to pay for it.
Yeah, they had a good album before this that got them a lot of radio play. So God said, "Let there be funding, and we could get you a good producer." Variety, I gave a 9. Because again, judging it compared to what Underoath had done before, and what was out at the time, and within the album itself, like every song sounds different from the other one. Like the riffs and everything, like Josh said, just like they're so unique to each song. You can't mistake them for another one. You hear that fucking intro guitar riff, and it's the beginning of the album. You hear fucking Maybe We, Why Don't We? That's writing on the walls. And that fucking breakdown's coming as one of the best of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When I saw that shit live for the first time, whoo!
Oh, I bet.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Was that fun? And it's fun every single time. At that moment, I am a Christian boy.
Jesus.
But going back to what the lyrics are about, it's less about God and more like facing your own faith
your
and
mortality.
Yeah, and facing your own mortality, dude. This is a much more deeper.
Are you
album.
talking about Bring Me the Horizon?
Shut up. Consistency, I gave 10. Just
solid.
It's
okay,
under
front
oath
to
throughout
back.
the whole thing. Yep.
It's under oath. It flows. It's perfect. And memorability actually got the lowest one, 8.7. But that's more because I remembered it less going into it than you guys did, because again I just knew the songs. I never listened to it as one
Sure.
whole thing. But I mean, how could you forget any of these? You know,
Right.
Right.
never.
Yeah.
So my average came out to a 9.43.
Damn.
All right. This breaks 9.
It's gonna break
Oh,
9.
it's got to.
Can I get some guesses before I hit enter?
9.17.
8.81 was yours, Josh?
Yep. 8.81.
No one cheat. No one cheat.
I'm
gonna
saying
say
9.1.
mine's pretty much spot on. I'm gonna say 9.20 just to give it a little difference.
Okay.
Shit, I accidentally hit the wrong number. 9.25, 8.81, shut up. 9.43 divided by 3 is a 9.16.
Ooh, that was off.
But
Yes.
But we
Brett,
finally
bring
got
up
it.
that wall of retro. Bring up that wall
Oh,
of
I
retro
got
for everyone to
buttons.
see.
Buttons, my phone turned off. Hold on.
Put
Okay.
the kings where they
It's there,
belong.
It's there.
Put the kings where they
Boom.
belong.
We got a new number 1, everybody.
That's right.
That's right.
Underoath.
We have the most
Define
fucking
the.
boring music
great-
to play for the background for it, but it's fine.
Hey, it's perfect. 2006.
And when you look at the Dance Gavin Dance, they're very close. Right?
To be
But
point,
if I
was it's like 0.17 basically off.
right.
Yeah,
I
like
can
that's nothing.
I think okay. If I had a choice, right, to either listen to either of those two albums and I'm gonna feel something from it, it's the first one. So it belongs where
Right.
it belongs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I agree.
So that's that.
All right.
Well, Brett's gonna kill that album, Jason. It will be murdered.
I won't
But-
hate it that bad.
But mine and Cody's might be higher. So one day.
Alright. Oh, and we have a specific day. Should we
Yes,
just
we did.
spoil that now?
Yeah, give it to him. He's been asking like every fucking day.
I don't
Yeah,
have taste in
hey.
music.
We are going to be doing the Black Parade coming on the 15th year anniversary, which is October 24th. 24th. So
That's
Black
that.
Parade is coming.
On
It is
the
a
day.
retro week, so it makes sense.
Mhm.
So we already talked about it, but it's going to be special. As always, it's a concept album, so there'll be a bit involved.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're gonna buy you a
Get
whole
ready.
fucking marching band outfit and
Listen,
everything for
you're
it.
not gonna have to buy anything. I've already got it planned out. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll ship me my marching sticks.
There you go. But yeah,
Always some
that,
in the house though.
that does it for this album review. Now, Josh, you have to pick an album. It's a new album. What you gonna pick?
Yeah, so it's one that came out 2 days ago.
Is it?
It's blue,
Oh God, no.
and it's called
Oh, wait.
Spirit Box.
Oh yeah.
Spirit Box.
Shit.
Eternally blue.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
Spirit Box. That's what we're doing. All right.
Very cool.
It's gonna be so good. I've already listened to it.
Someone wait.
I
Did
haven't-
someone
I haven't yet.
define the great line as 0 because it was too angsty, Jason? Really? That's balderdash. Yeah.
Unless they're
It's not
talking
even
about
real.
Black Parade.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Black Parade. Okay.
No, there's
well.
It's those teenagers, bro.
Yeah.
But yes, it's Spirit Box next week.
Eternal Blue. Have y'all listened to it yet?
I have not.
It's
I have listened to
Oh.
it all the way through twice. It is
good.
album of the year.
I figured we were gonna have it on here, so I've been waiting.
There's so much about it that's like, yes, I love a little bit of like sad time, but I also love ripping people's faces off, and I also like for some reason going back to new metal time. Like there's a lot of that shit going on in this album.
Okay.
I have
It's
not
so
heard
good.
an album that sounded this good in so long.
Okay.
That's
It's super good.
we broke 9 on this week. We're probably gonna break 9 next week on the current Wall of Mosh.
What's Phineas top?
8.89.
It could.
It's gonna beat it. I really feel like it.
It just
Not while
depends
I'm
on
here,
what kind
damn
of.
it.
See, I really like
Dude,
metalcore.
Silk in the Strings is so good.
So I really love metalcore, right? More so than this like new type core metal that's going on right now.
Yeah, what they call
Like
metalcore
whatever
now.
Spirit Box is and like what they're trying to do and bands like that. I will listen to metalcore 100 times over than that. But something about Spirit Box, like they deserve to be top tier always, and they need to start killing off the other bands so they get out of here. That's my thought. Like they're too good to be considered to be in that genre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I absolutely think it's gonna be album of the year material. Like the only thing for me that could possibly beat it will be Bill Murray. So, I mean, but even then, I don't even know.
Yeah, dude. But anyway, that's next week, and that's gonna be fun. I'm ready to really dive deep into that.
Now,
Yeah.
Constant set.
Did y'all?
That's a set.
Oh, but it ends the album so good.
I know,
God.
it's such a
Brad,
good.
I can't wait. Can't wait for
it's
you to
so
listen to it and
good.
experience it.
I will.
The
I will be
songs that we
listening.
didn't hear are even better than the songs that we already heard.
Really?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Because I like the songs that have already come out.
Oh.
I know.
I know. Anyway, yeah, that does it for this week. Now, should we reveal what we had talked about in our meeting about what we're doing for Sub Sunday, beginning of the month?
We prefaced some new things, but we didn't get too deep. So
I think now's the time.
do it.
Okay, so we were thinking of some incentives to give you guys for anyone who's watching, either now or later, like now and later's.
Good candy.
Decent candy, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get a candy review show going. And Jason, you've been asking for albums for a while. You know, we want other people to ask for albums. We want to give people a reason to tune in. So the first Sunday of every month is now going to be the audience album. But in order to pick the album, you have to be the top gifter of the month. That's the criteria.
Yeah,
right
you
now
go.
I am, but Jason, if you just gift one, I don't count. If you just gift one sub,
Yep.
Sub Sunday is gonna be you. That will be October 3rd. So you know you have 2 weeks to beat me. And then that well, really 1 week because we need a week to prep and all that stuff. So you have a
Right.
week to gift the sub. You can do it right now. Whoa.
Holy shit! And you get to choose.
You get to choose.
You
And
could give us a.
You could
yeah.
do a real bad album.
That's all the
We
fun.
just did a
That's all
day,
the
remember?
fun.
Like,
I know.
I know, and that's all the fun. This is like your chance to give us shit that's like 15-minute long songs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
well, okay. Well, if I do, I'm gonna give it 10s if it's Dream Theater.
And
Fair.
si-
Anything's
and-
on the board.
right, and it doesn't matter if it's old or new or whatever. It fits. And I think this goes along with the other incentives that we have ideas for. You know, including channel points or biddies or donos and all these other good things that we're trying to be real here. Okay,
Yeah.
That's right.
we're trying to be real.
Also, give us money. Anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
that.
it. That's the
We'll be
important
upfront
thing.
about it.
Yeah, we'll post a full ass breakdown of everything on the Discords, which y'all can join because I know there's people in chat that like to hang out behind Jason's wall of text. So if you guys want to participate, join the Discord. Figure out what you want to do. Put songs that you want to have. I know Brett talked about the Google Doc submissions. If you want to see songs on our list, which we're getting to right the fuck now, that'd be a perfect place for you to do it. You put your YouTube link, and then it's like, holy shit, we see your thing, and then we're gonna click it, and then we're gonna play it, and it's a good time.
That's
Whoa.
right.
That's right.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, same applies to you. You're just gonna have to get over here.
Yeah. When? On Sundays. Follow us on Twitch, and you can watch us live when we do the news, then we do the review, and then we do some breakdowns, which is coming up next. So YouTube, if you liked it, do all the algorithm stuff as always. Thanks for hanging out and watching this review, and we'll see you next time, YouTube. Twitch, stay tuned for the breakdowns. Bye-bye.